I just learned that combining your Roth IRA with dividend stocks is super, super powerful. I just started doing this. And for any of you who don't know, your Roth IRA is tax free. You put money that you've already paid taxes on into your Roth IRA, and then you're able to pick which stocks you want to invest that into. And when you pull it out, as long as you're over 59 and a half, then you're able to withdraw that money tax free, the money that you put in and the growth. That means no capital gains tax on the growth of what happens in there. But here's the caveat for Roth IRAs and traditional IRAs as well. You're only allowed to invest $7,000 a year into your IRAs. Unless you're above, I believe it's age 50, then you're allowed to invest $8,000 a year. But here's the thing with dividend stocks. That limit, that cap of what you can put into your IRA is from your own contributions. So let's say that you're putting money into your IRA, into your Roth IRA, and then you're choosing to deploy that money into high dividend stocks, things like Verizon. That's like Costco. Costco's not that high of one, but there's a dividend there. Like every stock that you're putting it in, there's a stock that is going to give you a dividend. Maybe you're just putting it into SCHD. Well, you can put that $7,000 into your IRA and still get dividends deposited into your Roth IRA. So this is like a way to be able to get past that $7,000 income cap per year. Now, imagine that you're doing this. I'm not going to pull out one of these calculators like everybody else on YouTube. You know how to Google financial calculators, right? But just imagine if you're putting $7,000 per year into dividend stocks. Imagine doing that for 5 years. 5 years from now, you still put $7,000 in, but then your dividends come in to the IRA as well, and you end up getting like a few thousand more. You're basically able to contribute more to your tax-free, your tax-sheltered individual retirement account because you're using dividends. I think that this is really cool. I'm doing this myself, but I just started my IRA a couple months ago, so the results aren't there for me to show you. I don't have the portfolio to like share my screen and say, look what happened because I did this, but I will in 5 years. And that's one of the reasons why I'm making this video, so that when people ask me in 5 years, how do you do that? I can say, well, just check this video out. But I think that that's really cool. When it comes to IRAs, I think it's super important that if you're investing for the long term and you're not just trading, that you are maxing out the $7,000 per year that you can put into them, and then investing into the market after that. Like that's what I'm doing. I max out the IRA. Once that's maxed out, then I start buying other stocks not inside of the IRA. But I'm going to put everything into the IRA first, and it makes sense to do this with dividend stocks too. It's made me think a lot about like Warren Buffett and why he tends to not invest in tech stocks. And if you think about it, a lot of tech stocks, they're high growth stocks, right? Meaning that they don't really give a dividend. If they do, it's like 0.6%. I think like Facebook's is something like that. Apple's, it's less than 1%. And most of the stock that Warren Buffett has invested in, most of it, at least that I know about, provides some sort of dividend. And this makes sense because the wealthiest people, they usually are buying stocks and they're not selling them. So if you can buy a stock that's giving you a 4% dividend on average, because the dividend can change year after year depending on what the company wants to do. But let's say that it stays the same at 4%. And when you go to buy the stock, it's also underpriced. Maybe the market goes down. You can see that the company is actually worth more than the market thinks. So you put $1,000 into that stock, and now you're getting a 4% return per year. So you're getting $40 a year just for holding that stock in dividends. And then the stock goes up because the market corrects itself and it says, oh, this company is valuable. Now your stock is worth more and you've been getting a 4% return, which is essentially the same as a high yield savings account. And so I can see how doing that year after year after year and reinvesting the dividends, how that can really build wealth compared to investing only in stocks that do not give a dividend. Where if you're investing in stocks that don't have a dividend, and don't get me wrong, I have these too, growth stocks, the only time that you can actually realize any gains is when you sell the stock, or you have enough stock to be able to take out a loan against the stock. That way you can keep the stock and then use the loan. The loan's tax-free money. But I haven't done any of this. I'm just saying I know about it. And personally, I wouldn't even want to do that unless I'm taking up this loan to buy some sort of asset that will help me pay off the loan. I wouldn't want to take out the loan for my own personal income because the loan's going to have to get paid back. So I'm kind of digressing from the point. I think that buying dividend stocks inside of your IRA, super cool move. I think I'm going to be really happy that I did it, especially 5 years down the road. And if you want to learn more about IRAs, Roth IRAs versus traditional IRAs, I actually made a whole video all about that. You can check that out right over here. See you in the next one.